dua for his son who is in the hospital in a very critical condition. So please make dua on this blessed day that Allah grants him cure and shifa, inshaAllah. And all those who are sick, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant everyone cure and shifa. أذهب البأس رب الناس واشف أنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاؤك شفاء لا يغادر سقما نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم يشفيهم نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم يشفيهم نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم يشفيهم آمين يا رب العالمين. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with this great day of the year, which is the day of Arafah. And we mentioned some of the significance and virtues of this day yesterday. I would like to add on to what we had mentioned yesterday in regards to the virtues as well as action items that a person can do. So as we mentioned yesterday, that today Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has combined two great days, which is the day of Jum'ah as well as the day of Arafat. And one of the great ibadah of this day is making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned in the riwayat of Imam Tirmidhi's Sunan, that khayrul ibad or khayrul du'a du'a yawmi Arafah. The best of supplication is the supplication of the day of Arafah. And the narration of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions that on this day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sets free the most number of people from the fire of hell. And on this day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives the sins of every single individual. So this is a day that a person needs to be very connected with Allah Azza wa Jal. One dhikr that we mentioned yesterday, which is a special quality of this day of Arafah, is to recite as much as possible, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. And in some of the narrations, it also adds, Yuhyi wa yumid biyadihi al-khayr wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. So both versions are fine and permissible to recite. The second ibadah or second dua or second dhikr that we can do or recitation is reciting of Suratul Ikhlas as much as possible, because this is the day of Tawheed, where the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is shown, and Allah Azza wa Jal, He descends His mercy upon all the people on this day of Arafah. In the riwayat of Imam Malik's Mu'atta, which Imam Malik has mentioned in Mursal, but also in Musannif ibn Abi Shayba on the authority of Ali bin Abi Talib and Abdullah bin Umar, and Sunan al-Bayhaqi on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhum, they have mentioned a narration of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam mentions that on the day of Arafah, shaitan is the most humiliated. You don't see shaitan being humiliated throughout the entire year, but the day of Arafah is the day in which he becomes most humiliated and he becomes very angry. So, and then the Prophet ﷺ said, the only day which can describe the humiliation of shaitan when you were to compare and give a resemblance is the day of Badr. The day of Badr, this is when shaitan became most humiliated. When he saw Jibreel alayhi salam arranging the angels in line for the battle and getting them prepared for the battle of Badr. And then, after that, the most humiliating day for shaitan is the day of Arafah. And it comes in one of the narrations that he picks up the sand and he throws it on himself. Why? Because the entire effort that he has made for making people go astray and away from the rahmah of Allah, on this day everyone is forgiven. On this day everyone is entitled of the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every single individual who would like to be forgiven in the court of Allah, Allah Azza wa Jal forgives them on this day of Arafah. So this is why we should dedicate a great amount of our time in asking Allah, making dua for ourselves, for our children, for our family members, for our community, for everyone. And at the same time asking Allah for forgiveness, speaking the greatness of Allah Azza wa Jal. And this is why it's very important that when we have these special days of the year, We want to take the maximum benefit from them. We don't want to make it go to waste. So, mashallah, Allah Azza wa Jal has given, this is just the beginning of the day. So we have this entire day until the sun sets that we can take maximum benefit from whatever ibadah we are able to perform. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the strength, accept our ibadah, accept our dua. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make us among those who are forgiven on this blessed day. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who are surrounded and have been entitled of the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this blessed day. Ameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka.